got the Texas Fan Better Podcast. Young Bridge, Fifth Ward Crenshaw, you know the best out there. Keno, Bo Diggity 713. To all my Texans Nation. If you feeling good, I want you to throw them H's up high. Yeah, like that. I see you. Let's swarm. Yeah, Houston, Texas, born and raised. Yeah, that's where I'm from. The best city in the state. Yeah, we stay turned up. There's excitement in the air for the Houston Texans. We swarming all year, causing havoc, we wrecking. Coming off that edge, we got 5-5-5-1. Team on the outside, locking down your number one. All about the swarm mentality. And the H, standing on business is the way we operate. I rep that 7 like CJ, that 1 like Diggs, that 3 like Dale. H-time we doing it big, you know that 12 out here, and don't you never forget, better pick your poison, cause we got Joe in the midst. We rock that battle red, still blue, Liberty white, H-time blue, drip galore, man, we so fresh, fire like the field. Shout out to the whole squad, chasing greatness, eyes on the prize, one goal, it's time to take it. Let's get it. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's all love for them Texans, cause them bulls about to perform. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's all love for them Texans, cause them bulls.
Yo, and welcome back to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast, brought to you by Fan Battle Sports Network. I'm your host, of course, Matthew Briggs. And guys, I just want to say, welcome to season 5. Yes, we are a little late, but, you know, trust me, it's worth the wait. But before we kick it off, let me introduce you to my team swarm. First off, I got H-Town Honcho himself, Mr. Honcho. What's going on, brother?
What's happening?
Oh, feeling blessed and being blessed. My guy that's been with me since day one, wouldn't be here without him. I got Mr. Crenshaw.
What's up? What's up? Season 5 is Fifth Ward. Let go.
Best one yet, right?
Yeah.
All right. And the guy that everybody needs to hear out, because he got the message himself, we got Mr. Keno.
What's good, everybody? Hope everybody feeling good, man. Definitely was a blessed day for me. Hope it was the same for y'all. And ready to talk, you know what I'm saying? Season 5, we here.
And we got Powerful coming up here in a second, Mr. Texans T. And also we got a special guest today. We got Aaron Wilson. He's currently with BT and the guys. When he's done, he'll jump on and chat with us a little bit. But before then, let's talk a little bit some hiring news. All right, we finally got the OC. We got Mr. Nick Caley. Now I know there's a couple of guys in here that's not too happy, so I'm gonna start off with the one that's really not happy. I'm going with Mr. Crenshaw. What's your thoughts on this, bub? Crenshaw?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's almost like we've seen this coming. I mean, they before in 2023, before they hired Bobby. The guy came from New England, so we still with the Patriots South stuff. It just screams this was a Nick Caserio hire because I guess he was like, okay, Bobby's your hire, D'Amico, it didn't work. Now this is my guy. A lot of people think that what the Rams ran, that's what we're gonna do. That's Sean McVay. That isn't Nick. So I don't understand that part right there. But I'm at a wait and see what's gonna happen. But he's on the clock. I can't wait 2 years for this guy. Like every game, he's getting critiqued by me. Every game, every play that's not called in quick enough. Matter of fact, I want to see. Okay, it's year 3. Is he gonna let CJ have more control of the offense? Is he gonna let him audible? Is he gonna let him be free out there, or is he gonna handcuff him? That's what I want to know. Is he gonna be on the job training, and CJ got to help him out? So it's so many variables because you fire your first time play caller just to hire another first time play caller. So I wish we would have went with experience. I don't care if those guys take the year off, give them whatever they want to make for this year to help our quarterback. We got a championship level team, but we're not acting like a championship level team. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. Keno, let's hear you out. What you thought?
I'm just gonna be straight up, man. I ain't got time to even sugarcoat it. I'm just at the place where it's just like, all right, like, let's see how this goes. Like, honestly, I don't have the expectations I had last season, which is crazy because this will be year 3 for CJ. But it just seems like we starting all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. And then I don't know how Nick is going to be. Honestly, me personally, most of us, we wanted an experienced guy, a guy that's been a head coach as a OC, and for him to come here, pretty much kind of like help D'Amico and make sure he have the offense in full control. Nobody know how to game plan. You know what I'm saying? Know how to adjust all these different things that a guy that been there before. And of course, we wanted like the Mike McCarthy's. We also wanted Doug Peterson. Of course, some of us wanted Chip Kelly. But at the end of the day, it don't surprise me that the Texans make this move because they've shown, and Nick Caserio, he has shown time and time again, you know what I'm saying, he going to go with the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? We not going to really see what's coming. Of course, like most teams, you'll be like, oh, well, we know who they going to get, and they end up getting that guy. But us, no. You know what I'm saying? We can't really predict what Nick Caserio going to do. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I hope Nick Caley can be good. I heard, like, of course, people say he was one of the hottest names out there, so that sounds good. He's been a part with the New England Patriots. He also been a part with the Rams. So at the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to can he adjust. If he can adjust, then I'm not going to worry too much. But if he can't adjust, and it's kind of like year 1, or you know what I'm saying, for how it was with Bobby. Even though Bobby year 1 wasn't bad really, but you can tell it was some areas like he wasn't really like planning well or calling the right plays at the right time. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, but he's going to have his bumps in the road, of course. I just hope he overcome that, and yeah, man, I'm hoping that we can really go to that next step. But at the same time, it's kind of like, can we really expect that? I mean, it's all on him, really, and it's all on CJ and how they connect and how their marriage be. So, yeah. Oh, let me say one more thing. What like Crenshaw said, this is a Nick Caserio hire, and honestly, Nick wanted him. One thing for sure, like I also thought about, it almost seems like they didn't really want to get an experienced guy. And I wonder why. I'm not sure why that's the case, but I'm curious to know, is D'Amico don't want nobody coming in that's experienced and you know what I'm saying, is trying to oversee him or whatever the case may be, or fear that they're not going to fall in line with him, or if he don't want that type of help, or you know what I'm saying, as far as him getting the assistance, because this is going to be year 3 for him. But I'm also curious about that.
Okay. Ancho, what you got, brother? Talk to me.
I'm gonna go another way, man. I honestly like it, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I don't think too much of us, knew a lot about Nick before we actually interviewed him and brought him in and heard him. But at the same time, man, I looked over his resume, and a lot of guys get that first time start, man, and it just really depends. I looked at him and not quote unquote comparing him to this guy, but Ben Johnson started off as a tight end coach, man. And the thing that I love the most, Nick sees both sides of the ball. He sees the passing, and being a tight end coach, he's seeing the blocking also. So that's a plus. What I do honestly like, my number one, man, is we're out of the Shanahan system, man. I was tired of that Shanahan system when he brought it. We had a stubborn little guy running it, and he didn't want to switch it up or anything, So I'm glad that's out the door. And I mean, of course, probably 80% of us Texans fan, man, we wanted, Chip Kelly out here, man. That didn't go. But at the same time, man, I feel like Nick was the next best candidate after Chip, man. Everybody got to have a shot. Like you said, man, he's, it was a Nick hire, and I, everybody agreed that it was, man. But bringing in some experience, man, like Keno said, I don't think, D'Amico wanted that former head coach or anything, overshadowing anything he had going on. But I'm honestly saying, man, my biggest concern was the O-line hire, man. I felt like once we got that O-line, that offensive coordinator, who was going to be our offensive, line coach, man, and it kind of threw me for a loop to bring, what's his name, Popovich back in. Is it Popovich? Popovich. To bring him back in, man. So that kind of threw me for a little loop. But like I said, man, maybe Nick can tweak Popovich on whatever he needs to do and get our line going because, I mean, like I said, it goes both ways. He sees the blocking side and the passing side. So this might be a plus for us, man. I mean, we got to give him a shot. He'll be here for the next 2 years.
So I'm in agreement with Honcho. There wasn't really the only guy I really didn't want that the Texans interviewed was I didn't want Thad Lewis and I didn't want Gerard Johnson. That's the only two guys I did not want the Texans to hire. Nick, like Honcho said, Nick Caley has the experience. Maybe not at play calling, but he has the experience to adjust. And that was Bobby Slowick's biggest flaw was the adjustment. Go back to the Chiefs game. 3 times he put Dalton Schultz on George Karlaftis. And what was the results those 3 times? Each time was a sack. He did not change it out there. He did not adjust to the game plans of the other team. And D'Amico said it last year, and so did Bobby. Teams don't adjust. Actually, they do. So we need an offensive coordinator that can adjust to it so that way we don't stall out in the second half, that we can keep going. So I'm okay with the Nick Caley hire. And like Honcho said, Ben Johnson was a tight end coach. Andy Reid was a tight end coach. There was a lot of tight end coaches that became great head coaches, not saying he's going to be. But everybody starts off somewhere. Yes, I get the experiment route. But as long as he can adjust to the defenses, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Because that was the biggest problem with Bobby Sloan. Now we'll go to the Cole Poppers. Cole Poppers is now from the assistant to the full offensive line coach. And I'm okay with it too, because here's why. Charles shouldn't have been hired in the first place. Has no experience on zone blocking. He was a horrible offensive line in the Colts. Colts fans tried to tell me I didn't listen to him, but I learned firsthand. Horrible. When you look at Cole Popovich's resume, just like Honcho did with Caley, it's pretty good. All those offenses were pretty great. And then he went to Troy and became a running back coach, and that running game was top tier. And now they're going to put him as a running back advisor. Look, I'm good with it. It only can get better from what last year. That's the thing, right? It can only get better. So for me, I like the Cole Popovich. Go ahead, Keno.
Yeah, it's just weird to me that this man was in the building last year. And hold on, was he here the year before last?
No.
Okay, so he was here last year, and we had all these like miscommunication difficulties going on with the O-line, not picking up stunts, not knowing how to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Not being in the right place at the right time, not picking up the right person, and being so engaged to one person when there's already somebody on that person, and then somebody come right next to the lineman and get to CJ. So it's just confusing to me. This man was in the room, and if he an assistant, is he talking to what's his name? Like, hey, maybe we should do this. Hey, maybe we should do this. Like, I feel like his assistant coach.
Only thing
he having talk.
So the only thing I can say is Cody Stoops said that he voiced his opinion, that Cole Popovich voiced his opinion, but like everybody else, he's assistant. I mean, you can take his word or not. Like he don't, at the end of the day, Strouser, Bobby, they don't have to listen to him. He's the peon, right? Like he's the assistant. He ain't nothing.
He got more success than them.
I mean,
That's the weird part, but I hear you. I hear you. I hope it's different. That's all.
well, we got Mr. Texas T himself, Patty Pool here. Man,
What's
tell
up,
us
gang?
how you feeling about these hires for Nick Caley?
I mean, with Nick Caley, bro, I did a little research. I don't know how much y'all have talked about it so far. Um, but I did pull up some of his stats over the last couple seasons. Really, his beginning season when he was an offensive assistant with the Patriots. And to be honest, I mean the Patriots were pretty good that year. Um, they were fifth in points per game, sixth in yardage, second in passing yardage, first in passing attempts. Granted, it's Tom Brady, I know, but he did pretty good his first season. And then in his tight ends coach with the Rams in 2023, they were 10th in points, 10th in yards, first in passing average. So with Nick Caley, I mean, I'm okay with it. You know, I feel like even though he doesn't have the experience, I could wait and see. I'll wait and
But
see.
but here's another thing too that people fail to realize. He was also advisor to the line with the Rams last year.
Right.
And the the Rams line was worse than ours with injuries and everything, and still produced. I mean, was a top 10 line.
Right.
So if he can do that with that line, maybe he can help with this line. I'm just saying this hoping.
No, I
Anything else?
agree. I think he'll be a decent hire. I'm not. I know a lot of people for some reason. I know everybody was getting arms up about Chip Kelly, but I don't even think that was really a option for us as much what Chip wanted.
After seeing the money, I'm good with it, man.
Yeah, what he
You
wanted.
know,
Nah.
I don't even think this man was really thinking about coming to the NFL. But when they said, "Hey, we're gonna give you this," he probably said, "Oh shoot, Ohio State, I'm out of here."
Yup.
I think was it you, Crenshaw, that said that they promised him the head coaching job?
I believe that's what's gonna happen. I believe he's gonna take over for Pete Carroll in a couple of years.
I could see that.
That that's just my little hunch right there. But even to the money, bro, it don't count against the cap. So it really don't matter if you paid him $6 million here. It don't really count against the cap. Now I wasn't a fan of Chip Kelly because I figured like, okay, you at Ohio State, you got the highest paid NIL roster in college. You better be good. You know
But
what I'm saying? Y'all
right,
better be good out there. You know, you got a first round wide receiver about to come out. You got a couple of maybe
offensive
third round
line.
running backs, offensive line. I mean, you better be good.
Yeah.
So that's how I looked at that right there. But as far as the offensive line coach, just like Kenneth said, the guy was here last year. I get it. You know, they say he voices opinion, blah 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 blah. But he was here. So what make you think now he's the head guy is going to get better with the same lazy players we have? If we don't change the
Well,
players, to me it's still going to be the same.
that's the thing, right? We got to get rid of the players, and also
But
hopefully we
but we
don't run the
tied to
same
those.
team.
We tied to those guys except for Shaq Mason. The rest of them we tied to them.
I mean,
So
Man,
I feel like we gonna get the same results.
well, let's be honest. Howard, when he moved to left guard, was really good. Other than the false starts, uh, Lemon Tunsil was. I mean, he was an All Pro. So I mean, we got the pieces. We just got to build around it.
I think the biggest thing is, can he fix those mishaps? Like that's really the key. And yes, Shaq Mason gotta go. Sorry, Shaq. Much love to you, brother. I mean, hey, you already got a championship or two. I think maybe more than that, brother. Go and retire. Like, give us a favor and retire. Like, do like this go, and we need to go get somebody else. At least go get at least one guard or a guard in the center. Like, we got to make that move. Is Titus good at the left guard? I mean, yes, he was decent, but at the same time, we got to hope Mr. Pop can fix the stunt situations to where the whole line can pick up and know, like, hey, I can't just engage with this one person and just face him when I'm finna leave this B side open. Like, and Tussle already guarding got that person, and you let somebody just run straight by you, like, and you're not even looking.
Right.
Like, I don't understand that concept, and that's why I don't understand. Like, Pop could have easily came in. Like, I feel like he could have said something, but like I said, hey, we gotta just see. We gotta see how it goes. Unfortunately, we gotta wait a couple of months, and then you know what I'm saying, we're gonna go from there. Honestly, we probably gotta
What?
wait till like mid-seasons to really see. Okay, the O line has improved.
And the good thing about the stunts and whatnot is hopefully the zone blocking scheme's gone because that's what hinders picking up the stunt for most people because they're so worried about what gap to get with that zone, right? Like who okay, he comes in, I got him. Like they're so worried about focus on who they got, they don't pick up the stunt. So
Here's my thing
hopefully,
though.
I know, Keno.
No,
I
I
get
have a
what you're
question.
saying.
Does the zone blocking have anything to do with pass blocking? Like
I
I
mean,
feel like pass blocking is like don't get me wrong. I know when Shaq Mason, which I don't have, I don't know why this man was pulling across to go block the left end, or whoever coming from the left side. But that's the only thing that I saw that was just questionable. But I don't understand. I felt like pass blocking is just pass blocking. Like
they still use
everybody
that.
backing up.
They still use the same zone to like. So if the guy if he pulls, the other guard can pick him up and so forth, so on. So it helps relieve the pressure. But and normally it's just the inside, right? It's normally just the center and the two guards. Just so if the guard has to pull, it can it can swivel and move a better flow. But I I don't I don't know why they can't do it, especially Shaq Mason. I mean, he's been in the league what 12, 13 years.
Yeah,
So
it's time for him to retire.
yeah, it's pretty pathetic when a rookie is picking up stunts more than your
Everybody
top
else
safety.
online.
I mean, even Tunzel was getting pumped on those stunts. So
Yep.
I mean,
Sheesh. I don't know.
and also too now that all this because if you look at Lerman Tunzel when Bobby stopped with all the pre motion bull crap so much in the second half of the season, Lerman Tunzel only had one false start in the second half of the season. So if we can quit with that pre motion bull crap. Like it's not catching nobody off guard these days. Maybe that would help with the false starts and with and especially what did Kenyon Green get all the time? Um,
Illegal
illegal
man
man.
downfield.
Yeah, illegal man downfield. That was our biggest flaw. So whatever it is, this is CJ Stroud's third year, and he needs to be protected. I can't have that man be getting hit 56 times.
No,
This
for
game,
real.
especially 8 times in the game. This can't happen. Anybody else got any more about this?
Me, man, I'm still a little optimistic about it, man. To be honest with you, I mean, I know coming from this line we had last year, I mean, it's kind of hard to appeal the crowd, but at the same time, man, like I said, Knicks work with the O line and the tight ends, man. So, which brings me back to my next thing. Maybe Popovich was trying to get Strouser to change stuff up, and like Matt said, I mean, he's the boss on that O line, so his input can only go so far. But with that being said, man, I feel like Nick and Popovich are gonna work hand in hand. Like you said, Keno, when Mason, it should have been no reason Mason was pulling from the right side all the way to the left side. And I think that's a lot involves Bobby's plays on the development plays. So I mean, getting the ball out quick, man. That's what the Rams like to do also. But like Crenshaw said, we don't know what he brings to us right now. But I honestly feel like those two guys working hand in hand, man. I can honestly say I feel like this line is gonna be a little bit better, man. I mean, him coming from a tight end background, man, he see both sides of the ball, the passing and the blocking. I'm excited to be honest with you.
Chris, got any more to add?
Um, have we ever? I'm gonna say the last 10 years. So we got to go back too far. The last 10 years, have we ever signed anybody that was 30 when the season started and they was good?
No.
Why we keep like picking up these old motherfuckers, man? Like Shaq Mason. I mean, if you think about it, people gonna get mad at what I'm about to say. Stephon Diggs. We didn't need him. He was old.
How old was Joe Mixon when we traded for him? Was he 30?
No,
No,
he in
Joe
his
Mixon
20s.
28.
28.
He just turned 29.
Okay.
Or is he still 28? No, he turned 28. He turned 28 last year. Going to be 29 this year.
Like, stop getting these old motherfuckers, man. Please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Crenshaw. It all I know where you was at with the situation as far as wanting Brian Thomas, and you know me, like I was a Brian Thomas guy all along, like way before the draft even got you know what I'm saying, last year. But at the end of the day, I understood it. But this, as far as like putting faith in the rookie, like you just never know how he's gonna pan out his year one. And so getting a veteran like Stephon Diggs, and honestly, lately he has been doable. He's been, you know what I'm saying, playing. So I didn't think it was a bad thing. I just think trading out of the first round to get 2 second rounds, and then don't get me wrong, Lassiter was definitely a great pickup. It's just that I just didn't understand the trading out of the first round to get another second round, and then you trade the second round, and now we're in a situation where are we going to bring this back or not? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think we're gonna get compensated if he do leave. So that's the only thing that's head scratching about that.
Powerful, you look like you got something to say. Go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah, so I was gonna go back to what Crenshaw was saying about Stephon Diggs. I don't know if y'all saw it recently, but he did say that he was interested in re-signing with us. It would either be between us or the Cowboys. And to be honest, I'm kind of, and people they gonna probably get mad at this, but I'm probably good on Diggs. For for this upcoming season, I would like to start off with somebody young, and because we really don't even know the Tank Dell situation. Tank could possibly be out the remainder of next season, this coming season. So I think we probably do need to go ahead and try to get somebody younger, to come in. So I just want to piggyback off there with what Crenshaw was saying with Diggs.
Yeah. Well, guys, our special guest has arrived. We got Mr. Aaron Wilson from KPRC2. How you doing, Aaron?
Doing great, guys. Thanks for having me. And sorry for the delay. I was talking to one of the other guys on the internet, and it just wound up running a little bit long. So my apologies. But yeah, thanks for having me.
We get it. We teach good people, so we understand. We're talking about Nick Caley and the hire that. Talk to us a little bit more. What's expected from Nick?
Expected to really galvanize this offense. The hope is to score a lot more points, put up more yards, and to protect the quarterback. Obviously, want to run the football more consistently than they did. They had a lot of success. I think that was really something where they're just scratching the surface of what you could do with Joe Mixon. I think if you get a healthy year out of Joe and you get him enough touches, he can easily be a 1,500, 1,600 yard guy. I could see him being 2,000 all-purpose yards. He needed to get the ball more as a receiver, and he needed to carry the ball more. They needed to open better holes for him. But I have no doubts about anything with Joe and Joe's skill set. I think for Nick Caley, he's going to be willing to run the ball, and they're going to do things to try to throw guys open with more motion, more misdirection. If you watch a lot of the Rams plays, like Puka Nacua, even though everybody knows he's getting the ball, they still have a way of scheming to get him the ball. And I would say the strategy and some of the things that Sean McVay implements, obviously only Sean has that feel and has that background, but hopefully some of that's rubbed off on Nick and from his influences, with Josh McDaniels and being around Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. If he can bring some of that success to Houston, I think everyone will be very happy with that. That's a Texans fan.
Okay. Now, some Texans fans are worried about the inexperience at play calling. Should that be something we should be worried about, or will that come with time?
Well, I think every rookie play caller, they go through a early acclimation, going from helping to build the game plan, which is what he did with the Rams, to this is the play. All of those guys suggest plays, like Nate Schilhaas, who just turned down the Jaguars job to stay with the Rams in an expanded role, was the front runner for Jacksonville. Liam Cohen. Liam never called plays at the NFL level. He called them at the University of Kentucky. Yes, it's the SEC and still a high level. But I would say that like Nick Caley's experience is superior to Liam Cohen's because he worked for so many different colleges. You know, he was the recruiter at Florida Atlantic, ironically, for Azeez Al-Shaair, the Texans linebacker and team captain. I was talking to a coach that was on the staff at John Carroll University, where he was a student assistant coach. So today we're having a conversation about how Nick would help them recruit, writing notes to people, organizing the players that they would have visit, every aspect of a recruiting visit. So like all levels of things he's done, from the lower level of football, but obviously a real launching pad for a lot of careers like Nick Caserio, Dave Ziegler, and many others, including another coach that's coming here, Jerry Shlapinski from the Rams. I would say that you look at Nick's experience, and he's only been around successful people that are good at calling plays and that come up with clever strategies. If they had hired Gerard Johnson, which he was a finalist for the job, it would have been the same thing. You have to hope that their exposure, their background helps them. It's like any profession. Before I covered my first NFL game, it was in college, and I covered a Panthers game against the Washington franchise. And I'd never covered an NFL game. I covered college football at East Carolina. I covered high school sports. But even though it's the same game, it's a different level. Everything from where's the locker room, where's the press conference, where's the cafeteria, all was new to me. And I think I was like 21 years old. So I was understandably nervous. How do I conduct myself? I wore like my best suit. I was overdressed for this. I wasn't going to be on television or anything like that. I just wanted to make a good impression. I saw lots of famous people. Like, this is when Tony Kornheiser was at the Washington Post, and he's in front of me in the lunch line. And yeah, the whole thing was like a blur. But I didn't have barely any experience. I'd never even been to an NFL game other than as a fan before. So I had to jump in. It's not the same thing as calling plays, but I only make this comparison to, until you've done it, you don't know if you'll be good at it. It's just how well trained are you? Do you have the training? He definitely has the training. I haven't talked to one person that thought he's going to be some sort of deer in the headlights. Everybody says very calm, very intense, good leader, real smart, and came up with a lot of the playbook, a lot of the ideas. And Sean McVay doesn't just run the same plays all the time. They change those plays all the time. So he was a part of those collaborations, building the game plans as the passing game coordinator. And coaching tight ends involves you in everything. So if you're coaching tight ends, you're doing it at a high level like he did with Gronkowski or with Tyler Higbee, you're involved in the run blocking, the pass blocking, and the passing game. I would say it prepares you very well. Sean McVay was a tight ends coach before. A lot of offense coordinators have coached tight ends before. I think it's a good background for him. And yeah, nothing I've heard has made me be concerned about him. If anything, he's much more experienced than Bobby Slowick was. If you compare their resumes, right. He's also, I believe, 6 years older than him. And like the coach I talked to from John Carroll, where he went, where he was a student assistant, was saying, this guy worked as a graduate assistant. He worked for like 10 different colleges. He moved all over the country, while having a wife and kids, and moving his family all over. I mean, this guy's hungry. He's determined to succeed at coaching. And there were many years where nobody really had heard of Nick Caley. And he was just behind the scenes guy that's been a worker bee and learning from the Bill Belichick's and the Sean McVays. So I think getting a guy from that coaching tree, looking at what Liam Cohen did with the Buccaneers, I think it's good. It would have been better if he called all the plays, obviously, but why should Sean McVay stop calling plays? Just like DeMeco Ryans, why should he stop calling the Texans defense? He's the architect. I don't think he should ever give up the defensive play caller role unless he feels that, that somebody else on the staff would be better for that. But, the long answer to short question, but I would say, yeah, with Caley, everything I've heard from him is he's ready for this job.
Okay. Well, before we move on to some of the other additions or retentions, fellas, y'all have any questions for Aaron about Nick Caley?
No, I don't have one about Nick Caley, but Aaron, this is Crenshaw here. I have a question about what can Cole Popovich do different with this offensive line that could get us excited? Because last year we struggled.
Right. The way I'd answer that question is, Cole Popovich was not in charge of the offensive line. It was Chris Strausser. Strausser contemplated retirement, probably should have retired. If you're thinking about retiring, obviously, then maybe your heart's not as much in it as it used to be. So Strausser moves on. They move on from Strausser. And Popovich was involved in the running game. He didn't have the title of run game coordinator, but he had a lot of those duties as a run game type of coordinator. That was one of the things that was good about the offense, was the run blocking at times, and I would say the mesh between offensive line and Joe Mixon. So that needs to be more consistent, but he wasn't involved in forming the pass protection. So the 52 sacks on CJ, the 54 sacks as a team, I wouldn't put that on him. And also, he's not out there blocking. I mean, he played at Fresno State, he played guard a long time ago. But I mean, these guys, they got to have accountability too. To blame it all on the coach and say, that's on you, if the guy's in front of you, you got to block him. And if they can't do it, then you get somebody else in there. And they have lots of injuries. They shuffle the line all the time. And it didn't work. I would say what I would give me reason to think he was good. He was trained by Dante Scarnecchia, one of the best offensive line coaches in the history of the NFL. So he learned a lot from him, working for Scarnecchia with the Patriots, coaching good linemen in New England, winning Super Bowls with guys like Matt Light, Sebastian Vollmer, some very good linemen. Logan Mankins was there. But the last time I checked, other than Laramie Tunsil, they don't have guys like that you could say, okay, well, they have the tough, durable, reliable, skilled guys. They have to improve the personnel for him to succeed. Without the players, you don't have any chance. But I would say the players like him. They will have the buy-in for Cole Popovich, and people wave the flag for him. Also, he was of interest to Mike Vrabel. They weren't allowed to bring him back because he was previously let go by the Patriots because he did not want to take the vaccine. That was his personal choice for him and his family, and chose not to, so he lost his job. When you lose your job for that, they can't bring you back, I guess, because you're let go for cause. And then he went to Troy University. They did well there, and now he's back in the NFL. But they have made a big financial commitment to Cole Popovich. They felt good about that, and he has the confidence of Nick Caserio. And he would have been the offensive line coach for Gerard Johnson, Bill Lazor, and, of course, he is for Nick Caley. So he was going to be the offensive line coach for any of those guys. They all wanted him, if that says anything to you.
Okay. Before I let you guys ask another question, we got one from YouTube. Will Ben McDaniels continue to be the passing game coordinator, or will he be let go of that? Good question. That's from Sideline Sarah. Yeah, I see her a lot on Twitter with the videos. So, yeah, very good follow, Sideline Sarah. I have heard that he's back. As far as title, I don't think they would demote him. I don't think that they would just take away pass game coordinator. But I think they're working on all of that. Just like Jerry Stolpinski, we don't know what his title would be. He was a senior offensive assistant with the Rams and with others, so I would expect him to have that title. It may work the way it did when they had Shane Day and Bill Lazor, to anticipate that question, where they had more than one senior assistant to help a young offensive coordinator. So I would think that's how it will shape up. And with Ben McDaniels, why would you move on from him? I understand that you might not be thrilled with what John Mechie III or Xavier Hutchinson were doing, but I don't think anyone had any problem with Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and, of course, Nico Collins, who he's coached since the University of Michigan. He didn't get to interview for offensive coordinator. I think that's something he would have wanted to do. I heard that he wanted to interview, but everything I've heard is he's back. He's under contract. So, yeah, I expect him to be coaching the receivers and having that title. Mostly he's the receivers coach. That's the bulk of his responsibilities. Okay. Well, fellas, before we move on to the other hiring, any other questions?
Yeah, I want to ask a question to Aaron. Regarding Nick Caley. So, do you think with his experience with tight ends that this could help improve Dalton Schultz, so we could see some kind of improvement? You think it'll be this will be in best favor for Dalton Schultz with this scheme offense?
You would hope so, right? That his background with Rob Gronkowski and Tyler Higbee, that would help get some things done with Schultz, who was a productive player with the Cowboys and, was better in his first season here. But again, I'll go back to kind of what I said about the offensive line. Dalton's got to look in the mirror. He's got to decide, what do I need to do to not miss these blocks? What do I need to do in the weight room? What do I need to do in terms of fundamental blocking techniques? I know blocking is not his strength, but it's got to get better. He's got to have better fundamentals. He's got to work at it. And he's not the only one. That whole group took a step back, and it's got to be better. I think having Brevin Jordan back will help them, but that's not all of it. And you could say, well, coaching Rob Gronkowski, even Gronk can get better. Everybody can improve, but I would say coaching Gronk is obviously it's easier. I know we talked a lot about Gronk. We watched his greatness as a pass catcher. His blocking was devastating at times when he put his mind to it. He was knocking guys down. Tyler Higbee, who's not a star but is a good player, very effective, very well coached with Nick Caley. And I know that he's not going to ignore the tight end position. He's going to be centered on that. I think people need to accept that, yes, Dalton Schultz will be your tight end again, but you need to get the best out of Dalton Schultz in year 3 here in Houston.
I mean, you got to be excited for a guy like Cade Stover, right? Wet behind the ears and Nick Caley coming in and kind of grooming him to be kind of, like you said, a Tyler Higbee. I don't see him being the level of Gronk because, like you said, Gronk is a life once a lifetime tight end. So you got to be excited, right, for what Stover can bring to the table.
Yeah, Cade Stover, tough kid, very gritty. Got a chance to spend some time with Cade before training camp. Actually, a couple days before. You guys may have seen those videos where he was out in the suburbs working with Footwork King, Rashad Whitfield, getting some good work in, running some routes. And I could just see how athletic he was, how well he caught the football. And I liked his blocking, especially on some of those red zone plays. You saw he was the lead blocker on some of the touchdowns for guys like Stephon Diggs, et cetera, Joe Mixon, and he would lead interference. It's just he hasn't been playing tight end as long because he's a former defensive player. His friends in Columbus, he would hang out with the linebackers. Those were his roommates. They were affectionately call each other meatheads, and these are like the tough guys. He grew up on a farm, a livestock farm, and he is a tough, strong, physical kid. He was back very quickly after the appendectomy he had, and he was right back on the field. I was almost a little bit surprised. He had the surgery the night before the Miami game, and then we're in Kansas City for the regular season game when Tank got hurt. And I see him before the game, and he's back. He's not going to play in the game, but he's feeling good enough to travel. He is tough. And I think he's got a bright future.
Awesome. Now, you kind of touched on I'm going to merge his last name. Polsky?
You want me to try it for you?
Go ahead. Jerry
Shuplinski.
There you go. Now, a lot of people don't know much about him, but a lot of people are claiming that he's a Nick Caserio hire, but he comes highly regarded from Nick Caley, correct?
Yeah, and Bill Belichick, too. Bill Belichick knows coaches, right?
Right.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not bad? Yeah.
Not bad.
So look, I've been doing my homework on Jerry Shuplinski. So with the Patriots, he was the guy that would draw up the play cards for Tom Brady. So he was involved in all the stuff that Brady was doing. He was assistant quarterbacks coach. Do you remember when they played Jacoby Brissett? He had to play because Jimmy Garoppolo had broke his thumb, and they won 27-0. Brissett said that it was because of Jerry that he was ready for that game. So a lot of players like Jimmy G and guys like Jacoby would talk about how well, and these aren't the best quarterbacks in the world, but he did a good job with them. When Daniel Jones, when he was the quarterbacks coach for the Giants, Daniel had one of his best seasons under Joe Judge when Jerry was his head quarterbacks coach. Ryan Fitzpatrick had one of his best seasons with the Dolphins. I think it was a career high for touchdown passes, again with Shuplinski as QB's coach. He did a good job as tight ends coach with the Raiders with Michael Mayer. And then obviously he's, a key lieutenant to Sean McVay with that offense as a senior offensive assistant, a title he also had with the Raiders. And those job titles, that's a big deal when you're the senior NFL offensive assistant. You are right behind the offensive coordinator in terms of the hierarchy on the coaching tree on the offensive side of the football. And everything I've heard about Jerry is high energy, good personality, positive type of coach, good with quarterbacks, understands quarterback techniques, good at communicating that and helping the quarterback and meshing with the rest of the team. And Shoplinski, he's had a really good resume. Nobody's really thought of him yet for an OC job, but I think that's not necessarily what you need from him. Behind the scenes, working with guys, helping support the offense coordinator. Obviously, he knows the McVay system, but to call him a Caserio hire just because he played with Nick and Josh McDaniels, I kind of, this is addressed a little bit. I've seen a lot of this on Texans Twitter, which, as you guys know, is kind of the wild, wild west.
Right.
A crazy place sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little toxic.
You probably know this. I'm not the most opinionated. I kind of just let you guys have at it. I'm not really going to correct a lot of people on Twitter or express my opinion. I'm mostly just going to share my links and give you the updates in that micro update role. But this is more of a free forum for me to speak. But yeah, there's been a lot out there that's not right. It wasn't like Nick Caserio. No one gets a job on the coaching staff without D'Amico Ryans hiring them. Nick was on the Zooms and he had input, but this wasn't like the David Culley, Lovie Smith staffs. No, this is D'Amico Ryans coaching staff. And he wouldn't have hired any of these guys. In fact, in the Caley instance, I was told that he intentionally didn't really overstep in terms of trying to go to bat and really push Caley. He wanted D'Amico Ryans to come to that conclusion. And if he thought someone was better, then that would have been fine. But ultimately, with what was available, they felt good about Caley. And you've heard D'Amico talk about the Sean McVay system, his admiration for that coaching style, the way that they scheme to get guys open. They know Puka Nacua is getting the ball, but how does Puka still get open? Puka's a great route runner, and Matthew Stafford is a great precise passer. But the plays have to be good for that to happen. Otherwise, they'll just bracket coverage Puka and nothing good happens. They didn't have Cooper Kupp for 5 of the games last year, and their offense just kept clicking.
Absolutely. Speaking of Cooper Kupp, he announced that he's going to be traded from the Rams, and then one of our favorite, Joe Mixon, he put the eyeballs out there, as you know, Aaron. People are running with it, and last time he did that, we got Stephon Diggs. Do you possibly see a trade for Cooper Kupp here, or
I wouldn't rule it out, but the problem with Cooper Kupp is his contract and his health, and he's 31. So you really have to dig deep on that and see if you think that the arrow's pointing up on his health. He's just missed a lot of football games. So if you did bring him in, he can't be the only guy you're counting on to be wide receiver 2. I think you got to make a decision ultimately between style of play of him or a Stephon Diggs. And I would say this, Diggs is very far ahead in his rehab from the ACL and wants to come back, is interested in them. And, of course, the Dallas Cowboys. And I think his mom wants him to play for the Commanders or the Texans. So we'll see what happens with Stephon. A lot of these things don't have to happen right away, but there are plenty of ways to upgrade the receiver position, including drafting one. You could draft one in the first couple of rounds, and it's hard to miss sometimes on receivers unless there's a character issue like Jermaine Burton with the Bengals with major red flags that they ignored or chose to ignore, chose to overlook. I'm not too worried about it. As far as Kupp, I think they'll look into it. They'll go over the pluses and the minuses, and then they'll make a decision. For me to tell you today that they'll do this, that, or the other wouldn't be accurate because they haven't made any of these decisions. They haven't decided, are we going to go that way? It might be someone entirely different from Diggs or Kupp. To be continued.
Right. Well, we'll hold it to that. Aaron, we know you're a busy guy, so before I send you out, I'm going to see if y'all have some more questions for Aaron.
I can take some more questions, guys. Yeah, what do you want to know?
I'll take one. I think majority of us Texans fans, maybe 85% of us. I know it's kind of out the window right now, but was there ever any traction or quote unquote smoke from the Chip Kelly hire? I mean, was he actually interested in coming here?
He was preliminarily had thought about it. Again, I can't speak for Chip, but from people that talked to him, said that he had some interest. They kicked around the idea a little bit. It never got serious. I don't think that I can clear up a few things I've seen on the internet to kind of anticipate this. No, they didn't offer him the job. So they weren't outbid. And another thing that's wrong, he does not make more money than DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans makes almost $10 million a year, and he has bonuses and stuff built in to pay even more. The $6 million is a very high salary. There is no salary cap for coaches, and so you can pay them whatever you want. But some owners choose not to spend on that. But I don't think they wanted him. I also think he would have been a terrible personality fit with CJ Stroud. I think that possibly they could have clashed. And he's sort of an old, grouchy coach who had poor relationships with Deshaun Jackson and Shady McCoy. I think it could have been a problem to have an older coach, a little bit set in his ways, and he's been a head coach. He hadn't coached in the NFL since 2016. I don't think just because I think, again, I can't speak for Texans Twitter, but I've never understood why. But I guess because most of them weren't thinking of the factors I just mentioned. They just saw what he did with Ohio State, which is a great team with the best personnel. They should be winning the national championships, and they did. But to say like that Chip is bad, no, I just don't think he was the right guy for this organization. I think it's a moot point anyway because he went to the Raiders and you guys hired Nick Caley. But no, I don't believe that it was like between Chip and Caley. I think it was between Caley and Gerard Johnson, and they chose to go with Caley. And that was their choice to not promote internal. And Gerard is back as the quarterback's coach, which I think is a very positive thing with his relationship and background with CJ Stroud and the fact that Gerard is an up-and-coming coach who interviewed for 3 offensive coordinator jobs, Raiders, Jets here, 6 last year. And I look at it all and I say, well, yeah, Chip, I just don't think he was the right guy. And some of that's my opinion. Some of that is me echoing other people's opinions about Chip Kelly and a candidacy that really never got off the ground with the Texans. So, yeah, really just a lot of smoke on that one. But, yeah, I don't know why some of the fans and some of the media were so bullish about Chip, but I can't speak for them. They just would throw out a bunch of, like, stats from the Buckeyes and things like that. And, you know, that's college football. You're getting a well-trained, experienced guy that worked for Sean McVay and Bill Belichick. I think it's good. Look at how Liam Cohen did last year as a first-time NFL offense coordinator. He did call plays at Kentucky. He did great for the Buccaneers, and now he's a head coach. If Nick Caley transforms the offense, and I've heard he's interviews very well, he interviewed well here, then he'll be a head coach possibly in a year if there's enough jobs open. Then you're looking for a new offense coordinator. That'd be a good problem to have, though.
Right. All right. Anybody else? Kenneth?
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, Mr. Aaron, do you think Nick Caley can bring out the best in CJ this upcoming season for his third year?
Yes, I think that he's the right guy for him with a lot of the things they do with the Rams. So I'm looking for some influence of the Josh McDaniels Raiders stuff. And you look at some of the quarterbacks that he's been around. So Tom Brady's and guys like Matthew Stafford. And these are quarterbacks that aren't that much different from CJ. If anything, CJ likes to run a little more than those guys, but they are pocket passers like CJ. And he works a lot with those guys on the accuracy and how they run the offense. So, yes, I think that this can work. I think that CJ is going to lock in. I don't blame anything for what happened last year. A lot of people make this assumption too. They think because CJ did a few podcasts and went to a couple parties and played some softball, that means he wasn't locked in. This guy worked very hard, always works very hard, organized lots of throwing sessions. He doesn't feel a need to post all of his workouts on Instagram. That's not what he's about. He's not an Instagram quarterback. I think that there's he was sacked a lot, and it affected everything for him fundamentally. And he faced adversity really for the first time in his career. A lot of adversity. He lost 2 wide receivers to season-ending injuries. People forget this. They were 5-1 before Nico Collins popped his hamstring. If any of those 3 receivers don't miss that many games as they did, what would the record of the team be? If they play the whole season, I think we're talking about a team that would have won 3 more regular season games, including probably the Detroit game, where they had them on the ropes, and having a receiver the caliber of Nico Collins probably puts them over the top. Nico actually thought he was ready to play in that game, and they thought better of it, and then he wound up playing the entire season. So medically, they made a good conservative choice, and it wound up working out because he carried the offense along with Joe Mixon. But no, in my opinion, CJ definitely can go to new heights. I don't think CJ is a finished product yet as a quarterback. People forget this all the time. He is 23 years old. He's already passed for nearly 8,000 passing yards and 43 touchdowns in 2 NFL seasons. I'm sure the arrow is pointed way up for CJ Stroud. I don't do a whole lot of was he top 5, he's top 10, whatever. I just know he's a good quarterback, and they can win with him.
Yeah, in a franchise at that. Well, Aaron, before we let you go, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media and what you got cooking so that way we can support you?
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, guys. So I am new to YouTube. I finally decided to join the YouTube revolution 4 months ago, and I'm nearly at 4,000 followers. I appreciate all the subscribers. It's free to join. I put a lot of videos up, including practice video that people seem to like that a lot, locker room videos, podium, press conferences, clips, and of course my thoughts after games. And lately, here in the off season, I'm expressing my opinion a little more and just giving you guys news updates. And at some point, maybe I'll go live. I haven't done that yet. Just gonna kind of work myself up to taking questions and that kind of thing. So that's coming. I'll be at the scouting combine, and I'll be using my Twitter account /X at @Aaron_Wilson_NFL. That's probably my longest standing and biggest account. So about 108,000 followers there. I'm on Instagram, and I'm at AaronWilson7128. And I even have a Blue Sky and a Threads. I don't use them all that much, but I would say mostly look for me on X, look for me on Instagram, and on YouTube at Aaron Wilson Sport. And I did want to plug something I just started with. I'm an affiliate for Quick Assist. Quick Assist is a new app, and they help you sell your tickets. I know sometimes people go to sporting events, they don't have an ability to necessarily or the time. They sell your tickets for you. And it's very convenient, very trusted source, good opportunity for people to make some money, make the most possible money selling their tickets. So look for me to be talking a little bit more about Quick Assist on my channels, and I appreciate them and their support. And one of my other sponsors is Pure Drip Spa, and they're a Houston-based company out in Richmond. And so I have a couple people like that, and I welcome more. Any local businesses that want to tap in with me, I'm not hard to find. But those are some of the things I'm doing. And of course, primarily, I'm on the airwaves and on the digital side of www.click2houston.com with all the great people at KPRC, including Randy McElbar, our sports director, and love working for Channel 2. And just, I would say mostly what I do is digital. It's online. And I'm a former newspaper guy. I always have those roots at heart from the Baltimore Sun and from the Houston Chronicle and other newspapers I've worked for. And that really kind of guides a lot of my journalism, which is, checking things, trying to be as thorough as I can. Not perfect, just try to get you guys the best information possible. And I like to do it in a very unopinionated way. I mean, I have plenty of opinions, but I think people are more interested in facts and truth. I just give you the information, and you guys can decide. That's why you are so passionate. Fan is short for fanatic. I'm not a fan, and I always tell people that. I'm a football fan. I love football, but I don't root for an outcome, wins, losses, or anything like that. I grew up in D.C. Sure, I was a Redskins fan, and now whoever wins or loses, I think it's better for me when the team is successful, when they win, but that doesn't affect my approach to it, because I don't make an extra penny whether they win or lose. It's a job. This is a profession for me, but it's a passion and a calling for me to give you guys the right information and to work hard and just to try to tell you guys what I'm hearing. And like I said, I don't know everything. I try to answer everybody's questions and provide the best and latest information that I can. I have a lot of great competitors at the national and local level. So every day is a fight. You have to fight against complacency. You have to fight against, the competition. You have to fight to get the information when people don't want you to know something. It's a lot of fun. It's a challenge. And to me, it's sort of a game. You have to play the game well. So there's relationships. You try to build those relationships, have as many good relationships as you can at all levels: coaching, personnel, players, agents, college football players, coaches at that level, families. And it's multi-layered and it's fun. And ultimately, what does it wind up being at the end of the year? A lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And the day I don't enjoy it anymore, I won't do it. But I still, like, every day I kind of wake up with like a healthy chip on my shoulder, and it's a challenge. I get excited about it. And some people wonder, well, why do you guys do this? You probably don't make a ton. I would say it's fun. It's a business, but it's also it's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I love doing. I was a paper boy when I was 12 years old, delivering the Washington Post, and so I would get ink on my hands. I'd grab the sports section first, of course, and read the sports section. I'd read like Michael Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser, guys like that, and read their columns and what they had to say about all the sports teams in DC. And yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. That's why I got interested in being a sports writer. And that was exactly 40 years ago. And when I was in middle school. But I've just always liked it. And now I'm lucky enough to do it for a profession. But I appreciate everybody that supports and follows. And I would say YouTube, that's a newer resource for me, and I'm liking it. So I intend to continue doing that in my own style on there, which mostly is going to be a lot of videos of players. And now in the off season, obviously there's going to be more videos of me. So I hope nobody gets tired of hearing from me and hearing about the team. But yeah, I appreciate the conversation.
All right. Well, Eric, you have a wonderful night. We'll have you on again, okay, brother? Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, have a good one.
All right, fellas. Anything to add before we end the show?
Well, I mean, listen to Mr. Wilson. I feel a little better about our new OC. But I'm still on the waiting.
Making a believer.
What happened?
I said, making a believer. Let's get it.
I mean, anything to help CJ, bro. I mean, anything to help CJ.
Thanks.
I just can't see this man got that bad in 1 year. I just don't believe that, bro. I just don't believe that. So if he could get this man back on the right track and that top 5 quarterback, as he was saying, and we was on those podcasts, then that's a beautiful thing for the Texans, because I want to still be playing this weekend instead of on the couch this weekend. And matter of fact, speaking of this weekend, are you guys have any rooting efforts in one of these teams, or you gonna give a fuck? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just here for the halftime show.
Oh yeah.
I'm just here for the halftime show. But if I would say somebody, I'll go for Hurts because he's an H-Town kid. Other than that, that's it.
Barkley. That's who I'm going for. Barkley.
Hey, I'm right with you, Crenshaw. I told myself if KC made the Super Bowl, I wasn't gonna watch it, but I'm
gonna watch it. Don't lie to these people. You know you're gonna watch it.
Look, I got a question for y'all, bro. So
what's up?
Before we head out, so nobody in here rooting for D-Hop to get a ring. Y'all, do we care about it, or are we just like, nah, it is what it is?
You know what's crazy, bro?
I think
we on my wall right here.
Andre not
type shit. Wow.
But
after I wasn't until you said those dumbass comments.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he did throw shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, man.
I got traded in my palm. Brother,
he was right. He was right. We did trade him for pennies. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
Why? It wasn't even about us trading him for pennies, sir. You wanted more money, so we traded you so you can get your bag. Like, if you weren't so focused on trying to up the market after you just received a deal like 2-3 years ago, like that's the thing with him. But hey, man, teach his own. If he get his ring, he get his ring, man.
Yeah, I'm going for Saquon getting a ring. Anything else?
I'm more so on the Eagles side, but I just feel like the Chiefs gonna win.
But I will say,
I think that is rigged. That's just me.
I will say, the Eagles fans are making it hard for me to root for the Eagles because dude. Aaron said the Texans Twitter is toxic. There ain't nothing more toxic than the Eagles fans, bro. They're
man, just Philly, period.
Yeah, they're rough.
Philly, period. They be wilding, man. They be on Joel and B all the time. I remember that time they got on Aguilar. That one video that guy talked about Aguilar because he dropping passes. But yeah, Philly fan base, man, they reckless. But hey, they deserve it. Hopefully they win another one.
All right, fellas. Anything else?
No.
Enjoyed the day, fellas, man. We had a nice show, man. I enjoyed it. Aaron Wilson, he was solid. But like Crenshaw said, he made me feel a little better with
Definitely,
going forward what we got.
I think I feel a little better, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all, can I say what I think? I know we talked about it in the chat. Can I say what I think we need to do, man? If we want to go to the Super Bowl, y'all want me to talk about that? Look. Texans
it's good theory.
No, for real, bro. I seriously need all of y'all to tag. I don't know if Kyle and Hannah have Twitter, but y'all can tag Beyonce. Whatever you got, y'all, we need Beyonce in that box. We need Kyle and Hannah to hit her up, get her in that box for at least 4 to 5 games. If we can do that, we of course get her at the prime time games. Whenever we play prime time at home, we need her in the box. Like, seriously.
See what she did for the Ravens game halftime, man. You see what she did there? That ain't.
It just don't.
Yeah, bro.
We got whooped that day. But my thing is, she needs to be in the box, not performing, just in the box celebrating the team. You know what I'm saying? Have your little Ace Town on your chest. You know what I'm saying? Represent. You know what I'm saying? We need that to happen.
You know what?
I can't take the Taylor Swift stuff no more. We got to take the attention, man.
Chris, you know me and you can help him, right? You know me and you can help Kendall make that happen, right?
How?
Well, we gotta get little O back on the show. Tell him to talk to her pop.
Talk to her. He probably ain't talked to us. He probably ain't talked to us since that day.
Right.
But I mean, like, hey man, that Beyonce, man, that's just a dream, bro. That would never happen, man. Matter of fact, Shakira will be there before Beyonce will be there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta find another celebrity, bro. We gotta find Sabrina Carpenter or something like that. We gotta find somebody else.
Beyonce made sense, man. It just made sense.
Yeah, we gotta have somebody compete with Taylor, bro.
Yeah, it just made sense.
Yeah, all the white people are starting to love 50 again, but bring in some.
But 50 been around though. 50 been at the Rockets, the Texans, but he ain't that much. You know what I'm saying?
We got Simone Biles right now. I mean, that's all we work with right
now. The Bears fan right now.
We need Beehive. We need Queen Bee. You know what I'm saying? In that box. Have it in the box. Like I said, 4 to 5 games. And make sure all of them games, or at least the games are prime time. You know what I'm saying? We get that buzz, man. We gonna need.
Watch. We gonna end up with Megan Thee Stallion.
I mean, Megan Thee Stallion will be there before Beyonce will be there. Real talk though.
Honestly.
Look, if Beyonce be there 4 or 5 games, tickets gonna be higher.
Definitely.
I agree. They already high as hell. It'll be even higher.
Hey, I'll be fine with that if it's gonna help us get to that Super Bowl. Brother, look, the fan base will be fine with that if that's gonna help us get to the Super Bowl. Because, bro, I'm sorry, like everybody can see that Taylor Swift is literally, even though like she started doing that after they won their first one, like you can tell she is a big influence on them getting a specialty with these refs in the NFL. Quiet as it kept. Some can see that it's obvious. But obviously, the NFL was pushing for the Chiefs to go back to the Super Bowl. The 3-peat. But, Hey, I'm hoping they lose.
And
You know what I'm saying?
that might be
I
the
hope-
reason for the Chiefs, bro. They can win a Super Bowl. Kelsey can retire, take her, she go get pregnant, and ride off into the sunset, bro. And that shit.
Absolutely. Well, like Kershaw said, it's fifth ward this year, season 5. We're going to be kicking it big time this year. So make sure you ride the ride with us. But fellas, why don't you tell everybody where you can find you on social media, what you got cooking, so that way everybody on here can support you. I'll start with you, Honcho. Where they can find you, what you got cooking, brother?
You can find me on X, bro. H-Town Huncho 713, Instagram, Huncho Johnny Samus, Facebook, man. Try to keep out putting out good stuff, man.
Yes, sir. And then what about you, Mr. Keno?
Y'all can follow me on YouTube at Here Ken Out and also TikTok and Instagram, Kenneth the Messenger, and Twitter, Here Ken Out. But yeah, man, I'm posting videos talking about boxing, hip hop stuff, and also sports as well. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and definitely go hit that follow and subscribe.
All right. Mr. Patpool, what about you, brother?
Yeah, y'all can follow me on X, man, Texans TTV. Also on TikTok, we just started a TikTok page as well, Texans TTV. They're my personal pages. Y'all, fans of that Texas rap, y'all can follow me on TikTok as well, Pat V Fool, and same thing on YouTube. Y'all go subscribe to my channel. Once again, shout out to my fellas, man. Always a pleasure.
All right. Last but not least, Mr. Crenshaw. Tell over that, brother. Crenshaw?
Oh man, I had a delay, man. Oh yeah, man, y'all can find me at Fifth Ward Crenshaw everywhere, man. RP Irv Gotti, and let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, RP Irv Gotti.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Make sure you follow me at A1 Day 1 Texans. We're, we talk about Texas. I talk about Texans most of the time, but make sure you follow Texans Fan Battle. Like Crenshaw said, and Keno and Patful. We're growing up. We're going to have some big guests. Next week will be Ben Tate, the former running back. So make sure you come on. I know Crenshaw is going to be doing some research till then. So he's going to ask some off the wall questions. So make sure you're here to watch that. Like Aaron said, it's free to subscribe. So make sure you subscribe to the Texans Fan Battle, the Patful, the Keno's channels. We're just trying to go up from here. So till then, it's fly Eagles fly. Hopefully, we finally see the downfall of the Chiefs Kingdom. Till the next week, have a blessed night.
Everybody eat a Philly cheesesteak.
Yes, sir.
I'ma calm down. Who's chop it up? There's an H-Town anthem, so we gotta slow it up.
This the best podcast known to man. We been raw. You heard it here first from Keno and Fifth Ward Crenshaw.